In my opinion, John Gielgud's Richard II was his greatest performance. He completely comprehended the lyric and the splendor of that character. When he first created the part, I had the honor of playing Bolingbroke to him. And now let us hear the speech on the King's return from abroad to England when he hears his subjects are in revolt.
Let's talk of graves, of worms and epitaphs, make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors and talk of wills, and yet not so, for what can we bequeath save our deposed bodies to the ground? Our lands, our lives, and all, our Bolingbroke's, and nothing can we call our own, save death, and that small model of the barren earth, which serves as paste and cover to our bones. For God's sake, let us sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the death of kings, how some have been deposed, some slain in war, some haunted by the ghosts they have deposed, some poisoned by their wives, some sleeping killed, all murdered. For within the hollow crown that rounds the mortal temples of a king keeps death his court. And there the antic sits, scoffing his state and grinning at his pomp, allowing him a breath, a little seen to monarchize, be feared and kill with looks, infusing him with self and vain conceits, as if this flesh which walls about our life were brass impregnable. And humoured thus, comes at the last, and with a little pin bores through his castle wall, and farewell, King. Cover your heads, and mock not flesh and blood with solemn reverence. Throw away respect, tradition, form, and ceremonious duty. For you have but mistook me all this while. I live with bread like you, feel want, taste grief, need friends, subjected thus. How can you say to me, I am a king?
Now let's hear the King's speech from the battlements, where he confronts Bolingbroke's rebellious followers.
We are amazed, and thus long have we stood to watch the fearful bending of thy knee, because we thought ourselves thy lawful king. And if we be, how dare thy joints forget to pay their awful duty to our presence? If we be not, show us the hand of God that hath dismissed us from our stewardship. For well we know, no hand of blood and bone can gripe the sacred handle of our scepter, but that he do profane, steal, or usurp. And though you think that all, as you have done, have torn their souls by turning them from us, and we are barren and bereft of friends, yet know, my master, God omnipotent is mustering in the clouds on our behalf armies of pestilence, and they shall strike your children, yet unborn and unbegot, that lift your vassal hands against my head and threat the glory of my precious crown. Tell Bolingbroke, for yon methinks he stands, that every stride he takes upon my land is dangerous treason. He is come to ope the purple testament of bleeding war. But ere the crown he look for dwell in peace, 10,000 bloody crowns of mother's son shall ill become the flower of England's face. Turn the complexion of her maid pale peace to scarlet indignation, and bedew her pastures grass with faithful English blood. What must the king do now? Must he submit? The king shall do it. Must he be deposed? The king shall be contented. Must he lose the name of king? Oh, God's name, let it go. I'll give my jewels for a set of beads, my gorgeous palace for a hermitage, my gay apparel for an almsman's gown, my figured goblets for a dish of wood, my scepter for a palmer's walking staff, my subjects for a pair of carved saints, and my large kingdom for a little grave, a little grave, an obscure grave. Or I'll be buried in the king's highway, some way of common trade, where subjects' feet may hourly trample on their sovereign's head. For on my heart they tread, whilst now I live, and buried once, why not upon my head? O Merle, thou weep'st, my tender-hearted cousin. We'll make foul weather with despised tears. Our sighs and they shall lodge the summer corn, and make a dearth in this revolting land. Or shall we play the wantons with our woes, and make some pretty match with shedding tears, as thus to drop them still upon one place, till they have fretted as a pair of graves within the earth, and therein laid, here lies two kinsmen, dig their graves with weeping eyes. Would not this ill do well? Well, I see. I talk but idly, and you laugh at me. Most mighty Prince, my Lord Northumberland, what says King Bolingbroke? Will his Majesty give Richard leave to live till Richard die? You make a leg, and Bolingbroke says aye.
My lord, in the base court he doth attend to speak with you. May it please you to come down?
Down I come, like glistering Phaëthon, wanting the manage of unruly jades. In the base court, where kings grow base, to come a traitor's call and do them grace. In the base court, come down, down court, down king, for night owls shriek where mounting larks should sing. I have no name, no title, no, not that name was given me at the font, but 'tis usurped, alack the heavy day that I have worn so many winters out, and know not now what name to call myself. Oh, that I were a mockery king of snow, standing before the son of Bolingbroke, to melt myself away in water drops. Good king, great king, and yet not greatly good. And if my word be sterling yet in England, let it command a mirror hither straight, that it may show me what a face I have, since it is bankrupt of his Majesty. Give me the glass, and therein will I read. No deeper wrinkles yet? Hath sorrow struck so many blows upon this face of mine, and left no deeper wounds? O flattering glass, like to my followers in prosperity, thou dost beguile me. Was this face the face that every day under his household roof did keep 10,000 men? Was this the face that like the sun did make beholders wink? Was this the face that faced so many follies, that was at last outfaced by Bolingbroke? A brittle glory shineth in this face. As brittle as the glory is the face! For there it is, cracked in 100 shivers. Bark, silent king, the moral of this sport. How soon my sorrow hath destroyed my face.